Jared, how are you?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
Good, thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for doing this. I'll be quick. I just got to make sure I set this up right.
Yep, Jared, you've got full recording privileges. I'm
Awesome.
going to mute my video, but I can't see yours just yet, but let me know how I can help.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Make sure I've got that set up. Okay. All righty. I'm set. Thanks, Pete. So the quick question would be just kind of give us an update on, getting that meeting organized last night and what you really hope to achieve. Obviously, you came to a finale of all this, but can you just kind of take us in on what you hope to achieve by even having that meeting?
Well, I think more than anything, thanks for having me on and taking the time to talk about something that's really important to our ownership group and the Haslam family and my family both really respect the relationship of the club to its fan groups and to the city. So our main goal was to let the fan groups, let the Nordec understand that we really are listening and we heard what they said, and that we kind of did a gut check and decided that the best thing for the club going forward was to go back to the original name. And the way we talked about it yesterday with them was, we've taken 5 or 6 huge steps forward, and sometimes you have to take a half a step back to take 2 or 3 more steps forward. So we were we sat down with them, and I think they expected us to negotiate with them. And we basically said, we heard you. We agree with what you said. We want to respect our heritage at the highest level by going back to our original name. And that we wanted to be able to celebrate our last 2 games in Mafre, or not Mafre, sorry, historic Crew Stadium. Still say that sometimes. But then also we want to have fans in for those games, but then also go hard at the big bang of opening this new stadium, because we want to walk hand in hand with our fans into this new building, because it's going to be really, really fun.
It is. I think my question on it, Pete, is so the announcement happens a week and a half ago, and it's in a moment of candid reflection here. How quickly did you all realize that maybe the vision that you all had created for the future of the club might not reflect what the fan base was wanting to see?
Well, I think that we've had internal discussions through this process with our own marketing team here in Columbus, but without outside marketing experts as well. And the discussion always was, what will the fans think is the best rebrand? Or brand evolution, right? Because we really didn't think it was going to be a rebrand, because we were emphasizing the Crew name and creating a standalone. So part of the reason we were able to turn this a little bit fast is we discussed all these things before, and they'd all been on the table and all had been worked through. So we were able to turn it pretty quickly when it was clear that not only the hardcore fans, the supporter sections, but also some general fans said that the Crew name is something that's synonymous with Columbus and something that we should always have. So that hit home pretty easily, and that's discussions that we'd had, and so it was pretty easy to make that jump.
How it's obviously difficult, when organizations, whether it be a sports team or in the corporate world, when they launch a new operation, perhaps a rebrand, a new product, something like that, and it doesn't hit. There is that moment that it's hard, and there are a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, resources went into developing that. Can you just walk us through how you all as a club intend to bounce back? What's the next step forward? How do you avoid that situation, moving forward and make sure that all of the things you need in your future progress is aligned the way you want it?
I think that's easy, because we really just handled the biggest thing that this club will probably ever face in the ensuing decades that we have. I think I don't ever envision us going away from this name, these colors. You know, we're always going to be black and gold. We want to own it. We've gone back to the name that is at the heart of our supporters groups and fans and our city, and my heart as well. So I think that the biggest issue is already behind us. And I think that we've created an environment now through this dialogue that we will have a permanent liaison inside of our organization whose sole purpose is to interface with the fan groups and the fans. I've committed myself to be available to the supporter section groups on a regular basis. Maybe not quite as regularly as I've gotten texts to that the last 10 days, but we want to meet with them on a regular basis. And we think that when you look around the world, the clubs that are the most successful are the ones that really walk hand in hand with their supporters groups. And we're committed to doing that. I think that the Nordec and encompassing all the supporters groups really understand that, and they heard us last night that that's our genuine desire, and we see that as a central focus of how we drive this club forward, because we want to have the best game day experience. We want to give back to our community, and most importantly, we want to win championships. And the fan groups know the louder they are and the more intimidating the Nordec is, the wall behind that goal on the north end is going to drive our opponents crazy, and we can't wait for it to be filled, and we can't wait for that sound to echo down off the roof, because it's going to be loud in there.
It's going to be awesome. That two more quick things for you. One of them is stadium related. I'll get to that secondly. The first one is logo related. You've got on the lid from back in the day, the original. Over your shoulder, you've got the crest for Crew SC. There's obviously a new C that you all created with this rebrand. What's the logo identity, do you think, moving forward? I know I know we're expecting something new from the club at some point. What is that logo essentially? Is there going to be one central logo, or will all of these sort of be used in various ways?
I think that hopefully yet today we'll be releasing some logo information. I think that all the work we did on trying to create something that was unique to our city and our state, with the Ohio flag and the Columbus at the top and the C in the middle, those elements, we still think in the modern era of cell phones and devices, we think that that's a crest that looks great on our jerseys and will reflect well going forward. So the tweaks are going to be, of course, adding the Crew name. So the Crew name will be in our new logo. And then in an important representation of how important we think the history of our club is, we're going to incorporate 96 into the new crest. So some changes, we think they're important changes in adding the Crew and adding the 96, but the basic feel of it will be very similar.
Got it. So there's a chance the C in the logo you were just referring to in a more horizontal, or I'm sorry, vertical, not horizontal, vertical look, that could be repurposed in some way. There could be a way that could be used moving forward.
Yeah, we're going to use the ideas that came up from our marketing group internally and from marketing studies that we did. So that part will be relatively similar, and we think it's a great thing to build on and add the Crew name and add the 96, and otherwise it'll be pretty similar.
Great. Last thing for you, you mentioned the stadium. I think it's important to get a stadium update. Was down there last week looking around, and I'm thinking, okay, July 3rd's coming fast. I know not everything will be exactly 100% on opening day, completely understanding that. How confident are you about the deadline? Any updates you can share about the progress of the construction as we come up to July?
Well, we're so excited to get in our new stadium. And anytime you're moving into a new home, you're always nervous that the furniture won't arrive on time. But I can tell you, we are working so hard to get this done. There are guys there, hundreds and hundreds of people working every day. And furniture's moving in certain areas as of this week. The 20th, we start to move some furniture in. So parts of it are fairly done. Parts of it I look at and I say, giddy up, let's go. Because there's still some work to be done for sure. So, but our goal still is June 7th or 8th substantial completion with permits to follow. and fan events for 10 days to 2 weeks before that, so people can get in and kick the tires and say, oh my gosh, this is going to be a blast. Maybe even taste the beer. So we're very excited to get it done. And I won't even say cautiously optimistic. We're counting on hitting our deadlines and having time to celebrate the opening a little before it happens even.
Great. Thank you very much for doing this. I will be happy to put all this together. And thanks for making the time as always. It's not just lip service. Appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to have you care enough to put us on.
Thanks, Pete. I'll see you soon, buddy. See you, Timmy.
See you, Jared. We'll